Have you ever wondered if the reason you're not in a relationship yet is because God has different plans for your life right now? Sometimes we can feel impatient or frustrated, but it's important to remember that God's timing is perfect. Today, we will explore 7 clear signs that God might be asking you to wait before getting involved in a relationship. If this topic resonates with you, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content that helps you on your spiritual journey. 1. You feel peace being single. One of the first signs that God may be asking you to wait is when you feel a deep peace in being single. Often, this peace isn't something that comes from within us, but a manifestation of God's presence in our lives. If you don't feel an urgency or anxiety to change your relationship status, it could be an indication that God is working on other areas of your life right now. Philippians 4 verse 7 talks about the peace of God that surpasses all understanding, a peace we experience when we are in the center of God's will. This peace is a sign that we are where we should be, even amidst uncertainty. On the other hand, the absence of peace may indicate that we are trying to force something outside of God's timing. Divine peace is more than just a feeling. It's a guide. If you feel it, move forward. If not, stop, pray, and wait for God's direction. Trust in His timing. 2. Your purpose is still unclear. God often calls us to fulfill a purpose before connecting us with another person. If you feel that you're still searching for your purpose, or if you're not yet clear on what God wants you to do, it might not be the right time for a relationship. It's important to remember that a healthy relationship should be built between 2 people who know their purpose and are committed to it. Find your purpose before the relationship. Discovering and living out God's purpose before entering a relationship strengthens the union. When both have clarity about their callings, the relationship becomes a natural extension of their journeys. Jesus is the perfect example, dedicating his life to God's purpose before anything else. Just like him, we should follow our calling before seeking a relationship. When we are rooted in God's purpose, the right relationship will be a support, not a distraction. 3. Previous relationships caused a lot of pain. If you're still dealing with pain and trauma from past relationships, it may be a sign that God wants you to heal completely before getting involved again. He desires for you to be emotionally healthy so that your next relationship isn't hindered by the wounds of the past. Forgiveness and healing are essential for freeing ourselves from past wounds and making room for the new. Jesus invites us in Matthew 11 verse 28 to find rest in Him, especially when we are weary and burdened. To heal these wounds, practices like prayer, Christian therapy, and conversations with spiritual leaders are fundamental. By seeking forgiveness and healing, we allow God to restore our inner peace, preparing us for a lighter and healthier future. 4. You have a growing desire to be closer to God. When you feel a strong desire to draw closer to God, it could be that He is calling you to a period of individual spiritual growth. This might be a special time for you to delve deeper into the Word, prayer, and your personal relationship with God, without the distractions that a relationship might bring. Before entering a relationship, it's crucial to build a solid spiritual foundation. Biblical figures like David and Paul dedicated long periods of their lives to serving and worshiping God before getting married, or in Paul's case, choosing celibacy to fully dedicate himself to God's service. This dedication allowed them to strengthen spiritually, enabling them to fulfill their purposes with clarity and focus. Similarly, strengthening our spiritual life prepares us for relationships that truly honor God. 5. The doors to relationships seem to keep closing continuously. If all your efforts to enter a relationship are failing, it could be a sign that God is closing those doors for a reason. Sometimes we try so hard to make something happen that we end up ignoring God's signs telling us not now, or even not this person. In Revelation 3 verse 7, we learn that God opens doors that no one can shut and shuts doors that no one can open. This concept reminds us that closed doors in our lives are not obstacles, but divine protection or guidance. When God closes a door, it is always for a reason, to protect us or to lead us to something better. Trust in His timing and plans, knowing that each closed door is a step toward what He has prepared for you. 6. You feel the need to grow personally. If you recognize that there are still areas in your life that need growth, whether emotional, spiritual, or financial, this could be a sign that God wants you to focus on developing yourself first. Relationships require maturity and commitment, and God may be preparing you to become the best version of yourself before bringing someone into your life. Investing in areas like education, finances, and spirituality is an act of self-love and preparation for a blessed relationship. Improving your skills, managing your finances better, and seeking spiritual mentorship not only strengthens you, but also prepares the ground for a healthy and balanced union. Personal growth is essential to being ready for what God has in store for you. 7. You have a calling to serve or an important mission. If God has given you a specific calling or a mission that requires a lot of your time and energy, He may be asking you to dedicate yourself to this without the distractions a relationship can bring. This doesn't mean you'll never have a relationship, but that now is not the right time. In the Bible, figures like Jeremiah and Paul lived their lives dedicated to God's calling above all else. They prioritized divine service and mission, trusting that God would take care of other areas of their lives. Similarly, when we focus on the calling that God has placed in our hearts, we can be confident that if it is His will, the right relationship will come at the right time. Trust that God is guiding your journey and that His will is always perfect. Remember, God's timing is always perfect. If He is asking you to wait, it's because He has something special prepared for you. During this time, invest in your growth, draw closer to God, and trust that He has the best for you. If this content spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring videos. God bless your journey, and see you next time.